Good morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. This is liveweatherblogs.com meteorologist Bob Acanfrio with today's tropical update for Tuesday, October 19th, 2010. Well, the only game in town, and this is what we'll be watching for the next few days, and we might be watching this for the next 7 days, is our Invest 99L here in the Western Caribbean. I'm looking a little better organized this morning as it starts to move away from the Nicaragua, Honduras area here. You can see this is where the center looks like it's trying to develop here, just north of Honduras. A lot of land interaction the last couple days as it moved pretty close to the Nicaragua-Honduras border here. Now it's starting to slowly lift to the north-northwest to the north, and this could give it a good opportunity to develop the next couple days. We do have hurricane hunters tentatively scheduled to go out in this system this afternoon, so we could get a better idea of what we have out there. But I could see this thing slowly developing. As I said towards late last week, that this was going to be a slow developer, and it hasn't let us down in that fact. This is one of those big monsoonal lows that just kind of came out from down near the Panama area. So these things do take their time to get going, but it's like in this little prime area here for development. If this could stay away from land, which it looks like it will, this thing could really blow up pretty quickly the next couple days. I just have that feeling that everything's coming together for this. I know none of the global models are really showing much right now, and we saw that with Paula too. It's this time of year as we get late in the season, the models really start having a hard time with these systems. So I would just go by what we see on the satellite and take this day by day, hour by hour on these systems down here for the rest of the season, just to see what they're doing. If we're looking at the, and here's the water vapor loop. I wanted to show you this. Everybody's probably thinking, ooh, is this going to get sucked right up towards Florida or Cuba? Not exactly. We do have a trough here that's going to be coming across the southern United States the next couple days, but it's not really one of these digging troughs. Again, a fairly progressive pattern still across the United States. So, but that's giving it enough of an induced motion that's going to move this slowly to the north, possibly even a little north-northeast as well over the next couple days. So what that'll do, again, will push it away from Central America here and get it over the water, which could help for development. Again, strong shear to its north, and that's going to be a factor here as well. How far north does it get, and will this shear affect it? Right now it's looking like that won't happen, because as this trough passes by the next couple days, we're going to have another big dome of high pressure take its place over the southeast and the Gulf Coast states this weekend. So any movement to the north-northeast will then get shunted back down to the south and then west. So think of maybe like a little loop here and then back to the west eventually as high pressure builds in here, and that'll shunt it back to the west towards the beginning of next week. So again, my main focus the next few days would of course be the Cayman Islands, especially Grand Cayman here. Watch this system carefully over the next couple days for development, because if anything, that could get pushed pretty close to there and then maybe come back south, make a loop, and then come back west. So again, in the long term, maybe the next 3, 4, 5 days, the Yucatan, Belize, and again back down towards Nicaragua, Honduras. I mean, this thing could loop all the way back south and then west. Will it make a smaller loop this way? So again, this entire area is going to watch for that. And as you can see, these are the steering currents right now, pretty weak. You know, again, you see this trough just kind of getting into the Gulf a little bit, but not really digging down. It's not going to shoot this thing up to the northeast, affect Cuba or Florida anytime soon. It's kind of weak steering, but just a little induced movement to the north, maybe northeast. And then again, high pressure is going to build back across here and then bring it back down to the south and then eventually west. Maybe again, make a little loop just like that. Shear today on the order of about 10 to 15 knots, which is pretty conducive for development. Again, we have that higher shear to the north, so again, if this system goes a little too far north, that shear could affect it. So we're going to have to watch for that as well. But the next couple days, this shear will actually just slip a little farther north, the higher shear, and then towards the middle of towards the early next week, it'll kind of shift back south. So those little shifts here. Again, the system can't go too far north, it'll get into that shear. But if it stays in this little area right in this zone in here, has a good chance of development with low shear, and of course the waters are very warm in this area. This was the ASCAT for last night. Again, doesn't really mean much right now, but you can see this was the wind shift area right in here, and you can see that low pressure was right along the coast here. But since then, it looks like it has moved a little farther north, so it'll start getting into the waters. National Hurricane Center gives us about a 40% chance the next couple days. I'm about there. This has about a 50-50 chance to develop. Again, what could affect it, if we look back at the water vapor loop, maybe some of this dry air getting into here in the short term the next couple days. We'll have to watch for that as well. That could affect it. So, it's still 50-50 chance here, but again, warm waters and lower shear, you really can't count something like this out. All right, models. So here's the early run models, storm-specific models for Invest 99L. And again, these were mostly run from last night, 0Z. And you could see basically keeping it down in the Caribbean here, making a little loop. A lot of them loop it back. So like I said, Nicaragua, Honduras, even Belize, Yucatan eventually. I'm going to show you the GFDL here in a minute that takes it close to Grand Cayman and then loops it back towards the Yucatan. Again, possibility there as well. Intensity models, again, everybody all over the map. We have some all the way up to close to a major hurricane, and then look at the LGEM, which is a pretty good model here. It doesn't even do anything with this system. So again, we're kind of everywhere with this system, and kind of almost want to throw out the models, like I said, and just go by what you see on the satellite and take it hour by hour, day by day with a system like this. GFDL, and this is a very possible scenario here. You really could see this happening, at least I can. Again, a movement to the north and then almost to the northeast, getting close to Grand Cayman, and then off to the west as that high pressure builds in to the north here over the weekend. You can see strong high pressure here, which will shunt it off to the west. So it depends how big or small this loop will be. Will it get shunted farther south and make a bigger loop and then move more towards Nicaragua, Honduras, or even Belize, or will the loop be smaller and then move it more towards the Yucatan, maybe Cozumel, Cancun area? Again, a lot of possibilities in here. Like I said, the next 4 or 5, maybe even to the next week, we're going to see the system down in this area. So it's not moving anywhere too quickly is the really main pattern with this one. Again, global models not showing much. This is the Euro model, 7 to 10 days, really nothing. I mean, you don't see anything. What you do see here is this big trough that's going to move down, and you see it right here by Wednesday. Euro's a little slower than the GFS. The GFS has this trough a little faster. The reason why I point this out is if this system by early next week is still near the Yucatan, this trough is going to be a pretty big one, unlike the last few troughs we've seen over this past month with this progressive pattern. Haven't really dug too far south. Well, this one's going to take a pretty good dig to the south, so if anything's still sitting near the Yucatan, could make it and swing it up towards the Florida area. Again, way out. We're talking about 7 days out if this system is still around, but just keep that in the back of your mind here for the in the long term if there is something near the Yucatan, because that could head it up that way. So again, just keep that in the back of your mind. Again, here's the GFS. Really nothing much, just kind of a weak area of low pressure, kind of just sitting it down here. As you see, it gets shunted south because this high pressure is going to be in control over the weekend. And then again, we see that trough coming, and here it comes by middle of the week, digging right down to the Gulf Coast. And again, if anything is near the Yucatan, that could shoot it back up to the northeast. Again, that's not until middle of next week, so 7 days out. And here's the HPC. This is their forecasted map for Monday morning, and you can see here's that high pressure in control here across the southeast. If we did have a system, it would be right in this area, just kind of sitting in here. And again, with high pressure here, this would move it back towards the west. So will it move it back west here? Will it be farther north? And then we're going to see a series of troughs here moving right down. And this is going to bump this high out. And this is one's going to dig pretty farther south than the last few. So if there is anything sitting in here, it could again get shunted to the north and northeast eventually, middle of next week. But again, if there is a system down here. So that's about it for my update for today. Stay tuned to liveweatherblogs.com for your latest information. I will have another update for you guys tomorrow morning. Have a great day.